Affirmative Action Essay. Essay on affirmative action for students and children in English. The optimistic steps that are chosen to enhance minorities and women in specific areas are referred to as affirmative action. These areas include education, culture, employment, etc. They were removed in the past. These steps are used to add the people back in those areas based on ethnicity, gender, and race. There are two methods in which the growth, defense, and controversy of preferential affirmative actions have progressed. One of these methods includes legal, that is, courts, executive sectors, a government, and legislature that have created and implemented rules needing affirmative action. The other process consists of public debate, where the special treatment has developed enormous literature, pro and con. However, both ways frequently fail to make a sufficient link since the public argument is rarely safe in any existing practice. The widely famous problem in society was known to be affirmative action back in 1972, whereas in 1964 there was already a thing known as affirmative action, the solution that could be used by federal courts on the culprits of the act. The federal contractors were then subjected to Lyndon Johnson's executive order after the year 1965. The preference usage was highly defended in the essay written by Nagel and Thomas, but individual. Thomas demanded the job opportunities or preferences for both African Americans and women as a form of correction for removing them from the grounds of employment and academics. From her point of view, preferential policies were a type of justice. However, Nagel stated that the preferences might bring a significant change in the society without harming justice. Besides, it will also help the institutions leave behind the meritocratic basis of criteria. Justice was the primary part of the following arguments. Numerous writers started questioning the statements made by Thompson in her essay. The preferential method can be seen as an advantage for several individuals, including women and African Americans, that are probably not harmed by past mistakes. However, it can also damage the white individuals that are not related to or responsible for past issues. Rather than bringing justice, rights are violated through the preferential method. Equality was mainly affected by it. Therefore, some continuous arguments and debates occurred on the topic of preferential selection. Besides, many writers claimed that whites' benefits could be neutralized with the use of racial preferences. It also resulted in reverse discrimination or segregation. Several writers stated that if the schools and organizations begin preferring women and blacks, it will do a similar injustice to the one being imposed. Identical to past discrimination, this kind of discrimination is also considered illegal according to the law and public equality. Besides, many writers also believed that racial preference was ridiculous, since it promoted racial equality and claimed that races do not matter. Racial bias was considered illogical. Therefore, several discriminations and arguments were raised due to affirmation action.